In 2022, the world suddenly became obsessed with artificial intelligence. ChatGPT exploded in popularity. Tech companies rushed to launch AI products. Investors poured billions into the industry, and a new technology race began. But while everyone was focused on companies like OpenAI, Google, and Meta, another company was quietly making even more money from the AI boom. A company that didn't create ChatGPT. A company that wasn't known for AI. A company that started out making graphics cards for video games. That company was NVIDIA. In just a few years, NVIDIA transformed from a gaming hardware company into one of the most valuable businesses on Earth. Its chips became so important that the world's largest technology companies were willing to spend billions just to get access to them. So how did a company built for gamers become the backbone of the AI revolution? Was it luck? Perfect timing? Or did NVIDIA see the future long before everyone else? But here's what's really surprising. The decision that made NVIDIA an AI giant wasn't made during the AI boom. It happened more than a decade earlier. And at the time, almost nobody noticed. This is the story of how NVIDIA took over AI. To understand NVIDIA's success, we need to go back to 1993. The internet was still young. Artificial intelligence wasn't a mainstream topic. And 3 engineers believed they could build something better for computer graphics. Those engineers were Jensen Huang, Chris Malachowski, and Curtis Preem. Together, they founded NVIDIA. At the time, their goal was simple. The company wasn't trying to dominate AI. It was simply trying to survive. And survival wasn't easy. NVIDIA faced intense competition and several difficult years. But eventually, its graphics cards gained popularity among gamers. As gaming grew, NVIDIA grew with it. By the early 2000s, it had become one of the biggest names in graphics hardware. To most people, NVIDIA looked like a successful gaming company. And for many businesses, that would have been enough. But one discovery was about to change everything. The secret inside the GPU, the key to NVIDIA's future, was hidden inside its graphics cards. Most computers rely on CPUs. CPUs are excellent at handling a small number of complex tasks. GPUs work differently. They can perform thousands of calculations simultaneously. For gaming, this was incredibly useful. But researchers eventually discovered something unexpected. The same technology that rendered video games was also perfect for training AI models. And that changed everything. Training artificial intelligence requires enormous amounts of mathematical calculations. GPUs could perform many of those calculations dramatically faster than traditional processors. Most companies didn't immediately recognize the opportunity. NVIDIA did. And what happened next would give the company an advantage that competitors are still trying to overcome today. The decision that changed everything. In 2006, NVIDIA launched something called CUDA. At the time, it didn't attract much attention. CUDA allowed developers to use NVIDIA GPUs for more than just graphics. Researchers could now use those chips for scientific computing, machine learning, and other complex tasks. Year after year, more developers adopted it. Universities taught it. Research labs relied on it. Companies built software around it. Slowly, an entire ecosystem formed around NVIDIA hardware. And that's what made CUDA so important. Most people think NVIDIA won because it built great chips. But its real advantage wasn't hardware alone. It was the ecosystem built around that hardware. By the time competitors realized what NVIDIA had created, thousands of developers were already deeply invested in the platform. And ecosystems are much harder to copy than products. The AI breakthrough, then came the moment that changed everything. In 2012, researchers introduced a neural network called AlexNet. The model competed in the famous ImageNet competition, and its performance shocked the AI community. AlexNet achieved dramatically better results than competing systems. The reason wasn't just the software, it was also the hardware. The model was trained using NVIDIA GPUs. Suddenly, researchers around the world saw what was possible. Tasks that once took weeks could be completed much faster. Interest in deep learning exploded. Universities expanded their computing resources. Research labs bought more GPUs. Technology companies began investing heavily in AI. The AI revolution had begun, and NVIDIA was already years ahead. But even after all of this, NVIDIA's biggest opportunity was still waiting. The ChatGPT moment. That opportunity arrived in late 2022. OpenAI released ChatGPT. Almost overnight, artificial intelligence became mainstream. Millions of people began using AI tools. Businesses rushed to develop AI products. Investors poured money into the industry. And suddenly, everyone needed computing power. A lot of it. This is where NVIDIA's years of preparation paid off. The entire industry wanted the same thing at exactly the same time. Powerful AI chips. And NVIDIA happened to be the company making them. Demand exploded. Technology giants placed enormous orders. Data centers expanded at record speed. Some companies waited months just to secure the hardware they needed. For NVIDIA, it was the perfect storm. The company wasn't just selling graphics cards anymore. It was selling the infrastructure powering the AI revolution. Its revenue surged. Its profits soared. And investors realized NVIDIA had become far more than a gaming company. Why competitors couldn't catch up? Naturally, competitors wanted a piece of the market. AMD developed powerful alternatives. Intel entered the race. Even major tech companies began building their own AI chips. But catching NVIDIA proved far more difficult than expected. The reason wasn't just hardware. Most AI software had already been optimized for NVIDIA's platform. Developers understood CUDA. Companies had invested billions into NVIDIA-based systems. Switching wasn't impossible. It was expensive. And that gave NVIDIA a huge advantage. The company wasn't competing with a single product. It was competing with years of accumulated software, tools, and developer loyalty. That's what made NVIDIA so difficult to replace. Jensen Huang's big bet. Looking back, NVIDIA's success can seem obvious. But it wasn't. For years, many people questioned why NVIDIA invested so heavily in software, AI research, and GPU computing. The returns weren't immediate. The future wasn't guaranteed. But Jensen Huang believed GPU computing would eventually become much bigger than gaming. While others focused on short-term opportunities, NVIDIA continued investing for the long term. When the AI boom finally arrived, the company wasn't scrambling to catch up. It was already prepared. And that's what separated NVIDIA from many of its competitors. Today, NVIDIA sits at the center of the AI economy. Its technology powers chatbots, image generators, research systems, robotics, and autonomous vehicles. But perhaps the most fascinating part of this story is that NVIDIA never set out to dominate artificial intelligence. It simply spent decades building tools that the future would eventually need. And when that future arrived, NVIDIA was ready. The gaming company had become one of the most important companies on Earth. And its story is far from over. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more stories about technology, business, and the companies shaping the future. Thanks for watching.